So guys, get this. A man has his entire life taken away from him, and he decides to cover for the woman who ruined it. Welcome to the internet, where men have to cover up women's atrocities because they know if they don't, then the women will make up horrible, atrocious lives and take even more away from the man for not treating them like little stupid babies. So in case you don't know, Tenz and Kyedae broke up. They both say it's very mutual. And turns out that Kyedae cheated on him. The man who took care of her for 4 years while she had cancer and gave up his entire career to support her, the woman left him the first moment she could, and now there's cheating allegations. Isn't that just fun? From the best friend. So let's get right into it. Are we surprised? Not really! Let's get into it.
Let's talk about Valorant news. The VCT kickoffs are nearing their conclusion, but not the key Valorant story of the day. After the Tenz and Kyedae stuff came out publicly a few days ago, 6CS determined that yesterday was the day to take things at next level after some major drama and some explosive content hits the timeline.
By the way, I hate to be this guy. Called it. Oh, and by the way, hate to be this guy. The same thing's gonna happen for Jason and Sakura. So just remember, get your quarters ready. This is another quarter, and the Tectone was right again, Jar. Be ready for that, man. That'll come out probably about a month or two. Let's get into it.
Some words either way, some DMs getting leaked to the timeline. Certainly not the way the Tenz would have hoped for this story to go. Very much into your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. We are going to actually start with some Valorant. EDGCB, who did eventually qualify, so the Chinese region was determined by All Gamers, by XLG, and by EDG, making it through to Santiago. So Edward Gaming, the plot armor continues. But he talks about what he's expecting internationally, because of course they did not make it, former world.
What the fuck? Dude, I am unconsensually consuming Valorant content. What the fuck is going on here? All right, maybe they talk about it right here. Okay, here we go. All right, now we get into it. Great. All right. Y'all ready? Here we go.
I'm just not so convinced how likely that really is. But we've got to talk about this drama before we finish off discussing EMEA and Americas and what's happening in the kickoffs over there. Because, look, it's Valorant drama at the end of the day, and it involves many of the key names that we've been talking about for the last couple of years. So, Tenz and Kyedae, they broke up the other day. It became official on the timeline. There were lots of tweets about it. We talked about it to a certain extent at the time. Now, Sick, who's no longer with Sentinels, he's still got Sentinels in his banner, but of course he was a notable player for Sentinels. Then he was he had some notable crash outs on the timeline for some time, and he's decided that what we need is for him to take back to...
I still want to just look at how sick of a human being you have to be to go back 2 to 3 years ago to find your engagement post and turn it into a joke and make Tenz quite literally have to succumb to what I can only assume is a humiliation fetish and join in on the joke of the love of his life shitting on him and saying, I want to explore more options and find myself, aka discover some more dick. Fucking ridiculous. Just delete the post.
But it is unfortunately a consequence of when things are so high profile and public like this, and there are so many people that care for good or for bad reasons. So Six says, I believe that they could have ended on good terms, but the odds are pretty unlikely. And he then goes on to say, it's not me projecting, 7 years is a long time, you can't possibly be naive enough to say that nothing went wrong. Impossible to have no extra feelings outside of what you see crafted online. He then says, oh, you're just people are saying, oh, you're projecting, you're parasocial, or whatever. These 3 terms are lowering everyone's IQ. This is a public platform about a public relationship. These two, the two are keeping engaging with it, which is not wrong, right? Like Kyedae and Tenz, they responded to that tweet. They've been responding. Tenz has given some responses to other tweets. Sorry that I have an opinion. Anyway, he then does this 20-second chamber ace 1v4. So that was his next tweet. So, there is still some relevant Valorant.
Hey, big clutch.
And stuff actually going on here. But then there was a bit of drama. So you guys may have seen that there was some speculation around the involvement of this guy like John Choi, who used to be dating, you know what, let's just finish off with a little 1v4 ace here. We'll give...
Okay, Valorant players are different breeds, man. I mean, good Lord. This is... Well, now, hold up. Before we get into all this drama, we got to really see this fucking 1v4 clutch up. My God, look at the headshot. This is surreal. Man, I don't give a fuck.
Sickest moments before we dive back into the tweets, because pretty nice clutch there out of Sick. Anyway.
Man loses the love of his life, takes care of a woman for 4 years, gives her his own bone marrow to perpetuate her life cycle and give her a better life, leaves him, hold up, gonna watch this clutch. So anyways, that was epic. Suicidal thoughts might be coming, but who knows?
This John Choi guy used to be dating Daph. They then broke up, and people were speculating that then Daph and Kyedae had a falling out because of that. Okay. So Tenz obviously gave his response to it the other day. Daph then says, "Please don't use me to fuel this false narrative. Me and Kyedae's falling out had nothing to do with John. It was over an unrelated issue. They've been good friends. I've got no issue with that. I don't like this heavy mischaracterization. I'm no longer involved in their lives. John is not a homewrecker. Kyedae never did anything malicious. That is all." So that's what she decided to say. But Sick decided that he wanted to keep talking about it. So John then did this tweet, because people were talking about this like frog hat being kind of similar to Kyedae's frog hat. Yeah. He then does this version in the red instead. And again, I actually think that Sick is probably right on this one, that some of the characters involved seemingly can't help themselves just to tweet something, and, you know, the intention, the implications from all of that they have. And, you know, Sick says, if anything, these type of comments from John, from, you know, Kyedae and Tenz and everything are only just fueling the fire. And, well, the fire was further fueled by this comment. So Daph then responded, clearly fed up of all of this drama, and saying STFU, but of course that only set Sick off, right? So then he said,
yeah, I'm gonna be real, I don't think anybody who's ever been told to shut the fuck up goes, "Oh yeah, you're right. Oh, okay, all right, sorry." It's never happened in the history of humanity. Like, you telling someone to shut the fuck up is going to do the exact opposite, man. What are we doing here?
There's very logical and in-depth response. Don't make me put your friend on blast, Daph, because I easily can. Who or what exactly are you trying to defend here? And then Daph says, "Go ahead, it's not like it's a secret. Most people distance from you as a result of your erratic, unsocial behavior these past few years. I don't talk to these people, but that doesn't mean I don't find it wrong to instigate the insane mob further. Your words have weight as an ex-teammate. Delusional people are sourcing your suspicious, founding on nothing, to connect unrelated dots." Sick then says, "Okay, I will go ahead and spill the beans. Kyedae will be very grateful for you. Give me 15 minutes.
Whoa. Whoa! What the hell is about to be said here? Okay. Oh, shit. Drama? Man, my nails are getting bent.
And etc, etc. So then Sick decides to do this tweet. Daph decided to attack me personally over her own friend's engagement baiting on the timeline. So here it is. Kyedae told me multiple times in multiple ways that she wanted to experiment with other men, and that was quite some time ago. So I can only imagine what she acted on.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. That does not look good. That in fact looks a little rough. Yep, you always know whenever women says, "I need to find myself," they need time off. The only thing they're finding is a little bit more dick. Not gonna lie, that is not a good look. Allegations, of course, take everything with a grain of salt, but not a good look at all.
And then he says, "Kyedae went behind my back and told people all kinds of things about me in the past. I'm tired of these women thinking they've got immunity to criticism. I know how evil they can be, and it's right to call them out," should be an apostrophe. "I will provide more information later."
Facts? Facts? I am seeing only facts being spit right now. That is all I'm seeing right now. Women have been getting away with deplorable shit for years. And if you talk to them how a man would talk to another man, they'll call you abusive, they'll call you toxic, and they'll throw you aside, because all women need to be treated like princesses.
Says. So, look, whatever you want to say, Daph and Kyedae no longer they used to be friends, no longer friends. Daph baits him into this, and then Sick's popping off on the timeline. So who's at fault for all this? What's even really true about it? Who really cares? These are all interesting questions. It's certainly entertaining, I've got to say. And then he goes on to say, "Anyone who thinks I'm lying about this can go back in time. Kyedae literally sat down with me in Brazil one-on-one at a restaurant. She admitted to this when she snaked me out to an ex-girlfriend. But I promise you, she wanted to cheat for years. That is a fact."
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. That is not a good look. Nope. Hey, man, and I'll be real, man. If I took care of a girl for 4 years while they had cancer and I gave up my career for them, and the first thing she does is seek more dick when she's all healthy and leaves me, ooh. Hey, man, you have made a misogynist. You have. Hey, villains are made, not born, and that's a fact.
So, then he doubles down, and then, of course, Daft responds because, the other sick drama in recent months was about this video that you guys may have seen, which is like 17 minutes long. I think it's still up there on YouTube.
Oh, it's a video about being a pedophile, and it has Genshin Impact in the background. Oh, my God. Oh my God, how apropos. Let's hear this shit.
Where Sick talks about his attractions and relationships with minors. And this obviously was doing the rounds and for understandable reasons a little while ago. Absolutely outrageous stuff in there.
Why? What are they mining for? Diamonds? Platinum? I don't get why people like Minecraft players so much.
And there was lots of commentary on it. Daft then decides, all right, well, you know what? Let's throw that.
I don't really like miners. I don't really care about mining. I like people who dig. I like diggers.
Haymaker in. You told me multiple times in the past you enjoyed sexting underage young girls. Ooh. That was last year.
Ooh. Risky game, man. Not worth it. Pass. No thanks. Uh-oh. We got ourselves a slop fest. A slander showdown. Yep. Oh, man. Everybody's a pedophile, everybody's a rapist, everybody's a cheater, everybody's a murderer. Hey, welcome to the internet. Shit, which content creators aren't convicted criminals? I can't name one.
So I can only imagine what you acted on. And then Six says, well, now we're lying. I've never had that conversation with you ever. Shameless the lengths that women will go to try and cover for each other.
Facts.
Perhaps log off because the lies won't work. And then Daft says, no, we had some conversations, etc. You're trying to gaslight me. It's not true. And, good luck, little diddler. So, look, Daft's definitely hitting the rage bait button right here. And then, obviously, basically Daft's point is like, look, well, you've provided no proof about your comments about Kyedae. So why would I need to provide proof about the comments that I'm suggesting about you? That was kind of the implication here anyway. So they go back and forth, they keep going back and forth. Daft is like, where's the beans? I want you to spill the beans. And then he decided, okay, sure, let's actually spill the beans because he put a couple of...
Oh, shit, he spilled the tea! The DMs were leaked! Oh, shit! Oh, shit, he kept the receipt. Oh, my God. Let's see it. Get into him.
A couple of DMs on the timeline here. So he responds and says this is the sit down I had with her that I'm referring to, by the way. We talked about many personal things on both ends. Difference is I never went behind her back, but I know what type of person she can be behind the camera, and clearly someone has to say something. So,
Okay, I hope you understand. All right, so he's the blue, she's the black, I believe. I hope you understand that after the conversation with you... Wait, hold up, chat. Is she the blue or is she the black? Okay, she's the black? Yeah, these are the DMs from... Okay, let's see it. All right, from 2023. Let's read this. I will give my take.
Anyway, he then puts these on the timeline.
I hope you understand that after the conversation with you, I had a lunch. I talked to Tyson. I wish you the best of luck, my friend. Yes, of course, don't mind. And we came to a consensus to talk to Karis. This was during the time that everything was already aired out on Twitter. Say what you want, yes. I called asking her side of the story, and no, I'm not going to say what I want. Relationship, yes. Hunter, you aren't a good person, but you're making this worse on yourself. You tried cheating on Karis before Berlin. You said the N-word multiple times in public in front of me, Tarek and Tyson. All of these things get you easily canceled. This is something I ducking want. Okay, you don't know anything.
Cheating on her, and you said the N-word multiple, but especially when we're leaking DMs publicly, it's like, I don't know, anything in that kind of last couple of days.
Hey, I'm gonna be real, bro. I don't think those DMs say anything. I don't think those DMs say anything, man. I don't know. Those don't say shit. Am I crazy? They say nothing but expose him. I mean, if he said the N-word, who cares? Just makes him more based. No, nobody really cares about that shit anymore, man. Not gonna be real.
Ends on that Sentinels team back in the day.
I don't know, man. Something's not adding up, and those DMs do not show shit. I'm still on the fence. I'm not convinced. We will see. I will be fair, and I will reserve judgment for now. But for right now, I'm not convinced. I shall not call Kyedae a cheater. Yet. I shall not. I will reserve judgment for when I have been convinced, and right now, I am not that. The Kyedae Tenz drama continues. Where will it go? We will find out. If only WestJet could save us now. All that yapping for what?